Reading one trading book won't make you profitable. And that's the problem most algo traders never solve, because the edge comes from how these books stack on top of each other. So in this video, I'll show you the 12 books that built my system, why the combination matters more than any single title, and the 12.0% result I hit in 6 months because of it. This is one of the very first books I picked up when many years ago, when I was much younger, before I started algo trading. So I was just entering the trading space and I wasn't sure what was out there, and this one seemed good. It was Trend Trading by Darryl Guppy, and I heard his name a few times in forums. So this book, after reading it, I knew that this was not for me. Now, it's not a bad book, but the idea of discretionary trading, of drawing a trend line where everyone draws trend lines, is totally different. It didn't appeal to me. So it was a bit too wishy-washy. And I don't mean to say that this is a bad book. It's just, for me, I wanted something a bit more concrete. So for me as an algo trader, I did not find the book that useful. I never implemented the strategies taught in the books. So that's why it's going down here in the D column. But what I did get out of the book was, I knew from that point that I did not like discretionary trading, like heads and shoulders, trend lines. But the fact that everyone does it differently, I knew that one was not for me. I wanted to go down the algorithmic trading path because I am a programmer and I like the idea of coding up strategies, of having precise entries and precise exits, which is where I read this book by Kevin Davey, An Introduction to Algo Trading. And I love this book. I think it's fantastic. Kevin Davey is a great author. He talks in a language that is simple and easy to understand for the everyday Joe Blow who's not a genius. I strongly recommended this book. It is a great book for anyone considering algo trading and just want to see what it's about. I think Kevin Davey is a great author. That's why for me, I put it in A, because of where I was mentally, and I think it's just a great book for beginners. The reason it's not in S is because after you read the book, you kind of don't really need to go back and reread it. So A is for books I think are worth reading one time. After reading the first Kevin Davey book, I had to buy his other books. So I also have Building Algorithmic Trading Systems and Algo Trading Cheat Codes, also by Kevin Davey. And the language he uses is really good. He speaks in a very easy to understand language that is so great to understand. So again, I put all 3 of his books in tier A. Great for reading once to get the basic knowledge you need for algorithmic trading. The only book I might reread is potentially Algo Trading Cheat Codes. I think if you read that multiple times, you might be able to get more and more nuggets every time you reread it. And continuing down the Kevin Davey path, I also got Entry and Exits and Confessions of a Champion Trader, AI-inspired algo trading entries. So even though I have these, I have read Entry and Exits Confessions of a Champion Trader, I am not a fan of too much emphasis on a particular strategy. For me, process is more important than a strategy. And Kevin Davey also believes in this. I understand why he wrote those books, because a lot of traders, they think the magic is in a trading strategy, which is why he structured his entry and exits book not as a strategy, but as a here's a bunch of entries, here's a bunch of exits, you try them out, you try mashing them up together, you try testing them on different time frames and different exits and see what you come up with. So even though I do like Kevin Davey's books, the fact that these are based on entries and exits, that's why I've put them into column B. I have managed to code up some of the strategies in entries and exits of a champion trader, and they're pretty good. I have to say the equity curves you get with them, especially when you match them with the right exits, can be profitable. So I do recommend this one if you're struggling with ideas and you like building strategies from scratch. Next, we have The Laws of Trading by Mr. LeBron. And this one is a pretty good book. It is a collection of different aspects that you might not think about when you're trading, and it's a good thinking book. And I would put this in S tier. So we have our very first S tier book. And the reason it's in S tier is because the reread factor. So every time you read a book, depending on where you are in the journey, you will gain a little bit of a different nugget. So I've read it one time and I do have it as an audio version. So I do intend to read it again. And every time I read it, I'm pretty sure I will learn something new every time, because reading is two-factor. It's what the author gives you and what you're willing to absorb. When the author gives you like 10 different lessons, sometimes you just take one lesson, and every time you reread it, you take another lesson. So that's why this book is in S tier. I'm going to reread it, and every time I read it, I'm going to learn something else. Next is the very first psychology book in this series. And this one is Thinking in Bets by Annie Duke. And there are a lot of psychology books in the trading world, and they all sort of talk about the same thing. They talk about thinking in probabilities. But the reason why this one I personally think is better than the others was because of the examples that Annie gives. So it's easy just to say think in probabilities, but Annie goes further. She talks about the concept of resulting, which is making a judgment on a decision based on its outcome. So a good decision can have a bad outcome, and a bad decision can have a good outcome. And Annie gives a really good example of, I think it was hiring or firing someone. A pretty high level CEO fired someone, and they made the best decision that they could. But after the firing or hiring process, the company just went downhill after that. And they thought it was a bad decision. But no, if you step back and look at all the information available at the time, they made the correct decision based on the information. It's just that the outcome was bad. So that's why the idea of resulting, that a good decision can have a bad outcome and a bad decision can have a good outcome, is so critical. And I don't recommend just getting the ChatGPT summary of this book. I actually recommend reading the book, because when the examples are given, it hammers the message more deeply in your mind than just reading a one paragraph ChatGPT version. So this book goes in A tier. The reason it's not in S tier is I don't see the content as something that will give you different lessons every time you reread it, but it is definitely worth reading at least once. Next, we have another psychology book called Trading in the Zone by Mark Douglas. This one is a very popular book, and a lot of you are going to hate me. I did not like this book at all. As an algorithmic trader, I did not find a single nugget that I could take from this book and apply it to algorithmic trading. And I really, really tried. There is so much hype about this book in the trading community, so that's why I bought it. But for an algorithmic trader, just nothing worthwhile for us, unfortunately. So that one goes at the bottom, F tier. Let's move along to the next book. And this one also is a psychology book, and I absolutely loved this one. Tom Hugard, Best Loser Wins. And this one, even though he is not an algorithmic trader, he is a discretionary trader. The lessons he talks about and the amount of detail he goes through for his own trading, I loved how detailed it was and how he gives examples of how much analysis he does as a discretionary trader. And this one is also going into S tier. I've read it once time, and I believe, again, if I reread it every time, I'm going to get a brand new nugget. Next, we have The Man Who Solved the Markets, How Jim Simons Launched the Quantum Revolution by Gregory Zuckerman. And this one was an interesting book. It's pretty much a storybook about how Jim Simons created Renaissance Technologies and the Medallion Hedge Fund. It's not a book about psychology. It's not a book about how to do anything. It's just a story. But the main thing I got out of this book was in chapter 17, how he mentions that his team found that stocks and other investments are influenced by more factors and forces that even the most sophisticated investors appreciate. Renaissance staff has deduced that even more influenced investment, including forces not readily apparent or sometimes even logical, because a lot of people teach every strategy, in order for it to have an edge, has to have a reason behind it. Why does an edge need to give you a reason why it is successful? Some edges, like Turnaround Tuesday, sure, but a lot of edges are more complicated than that. We have Trump, we have global macroeconomic news, we have war, shortages. It is too complicated for a human to be able to understand and piece together all these different factors in order to explain a particular edge. And Jim Simons and Medallion Fund, with the best trading track record in all of history, he didn't employ traders. He employed weather forecasts and mathematicians, physicists who didn't have experience in trading. They relied on the data and the process, which is also what I'm about. So reading this book one time was enough for me to say, I don't need to explain edge. Sure, if an edge is there, that's great, but I'm not going to throw away a perfectly valid strategy that passes my build, test, robustness testing, Monte Carlo, just because I don't know in my very simple monkey brain how the edge is explained in words. So this book is definitely worth a read once. That's why it goes in A tier. I have a bonus for you. So these are not trading books, they are books about money. And personally, I love Morgan Housel. I started with Psychology of Money, Same as Ever, and The Art of Spending Money. And The Art of Spending Money is his most recent book, and I have to say the best one. It talks about generic money concepts like fear, greed, psychology. So even though it doesn't reflect on trading directly, the concepts of fear, greed, and psychology still applies in trading. And reading these books will also uplift your life in other ways that have actually made me more grounded and more calmer and less judgmental of other people. So as a bonus, these 3 books, Morgan Housel is a great author. I will highly recommend anything he writes in the past and in the future. The very last book in this list is Evidence-Based Technical Analysis by David Aronson. And I absolutely hated reading this book. It is such a hard read because my brain was not braining when I was reading this book. David likes to use big words, complex structures, complex sentence structures. Instead of calling a chart, he'll go through like 2 chapters explaining time series. Like, come on, dude, you're just talking about a chart. But I understand that's just the way some people talk. So this, unless you're highly versed in English, I will not recommend. But if you're an English native speaker and you can comprehend large words and complex sentence structures, behind all that is some really good concepts like big in sample. He really hates on discretionary trading, like how vague it is, how you can't really backtest it properly. So he is a big advocate of algorithmic trading. He's a big advocate of having a large sample size. And so this one goes up the top under S tier. You do need to reread it multiple times. I have only read it one time and I want to go back and reread it another time and see if I get different nuggets this second time round. The main concept that I took away from this book was that complex strategies are for complex markets, which is totally different to what everybody else says. Everyone says simple strategies are the best, but David says you need complex strategies. So I went and took this idea and I went and tested it myself. And after testing thousands and thousands of strategies, I found that they are actually both true. So watch this video next, where I go deep into the analysis and I show you the summary of the results of why complex markets need complex strategies.